With figure in Everton in his other league play of the time of year, Pep Guardiola's Town has won 13 matches in a row, time wiring a overwhelming 36 purpose distinction. His Champions League amateur performance been almost as spectacular, in Town winner its at first 5 matches and closing up the team up loser to Shakhtar Donetsk over the 1 week. Should they win the Manchester Derbyshire at Old Trafford on Saturday, Town would equivalent the 14-match stick mark set by Stockpile above 2 change of seasons in 2002. The kernel of how Stockpile Crew went on to shape the Invincibles of 2004, yet the just unbeaten party in Prime League story. How nice can Town be? Recent monthly, Town officer Pep Guardiola was fast to sack the concept of equaling Stockpile's Invincibles mark, law up battering the present Stockpile party 3-1 at the Etihad Arena. But the much longer Town's unbeaten strip lasts, the more than it will welcome comparisons to Stockpile's Invincibles or, to an inferior degree, the emergency Barcelona teams Guardiola controlled among 2008 and 2012. In procedure to stay unbeaten, yet, Town will requirement a conjunction of motive, management and simple old good luck to supplement its extraordinary ability. On to soccer analysis Pat Nevin. They are not diverse to Guardiola's Barcelona in lot ways, who perhaps were the top crew how I've always seen. So how's very top commend, he adds. Yet he's yet previous. Where are yet rather a quantity of real how could go incorrect. Trauma hazard love all large champions, Stockpiles, Invincibles, controlled to petticoat main knocks to its stars. One could claim, yet, how the Town team is superior furnished to suffer injuries rather than how Stockpile Crew, whose league name might include been in question if Thierry Henry had been sidelined. Although Stockpile completed the 2004 campaigning in a purpose distinction of 47, Henry and his 30 league goals did largest of the hard lift. Robert Pires added 14, in 3 other helping 4 persons goals every. Town appears to include more than balance sheet in and wealth of nature purpose scorers. Raheem Full and Sergio Aguero include chopped in 9er goals apiece the time of year, on in Gabriel Jesus's 8 and Leroy Sensible's 6. But of all the charming names in the Town team, the one gamer who Nevin telephone call indispensable is maybe center protector John Stone. Same basis of all the act comes of him, and the goalie, Ederson, he says, relating to Town's Portugal sweeping machine goalie. So the some players can all be replaced, he says, noted the force in deep of Town's team. Though, artistic halfback Kevin De Bruyne can be replaced by David Silva. But Stone, not certainly you can substitute him to the identical standard. Succumbing to blood pressure, which was really precise of speaking to the players of how Stockpile Crew is how they didn't begin thought on an invincible time of year before cute shut to the late. I fair don't believe it was on his minds. Same just man whose reason it was on was Arsene Wenger, she adds, relating to the Stockpile officer. Same players fair didn't believe it was a item to try to do since it seemed a bit overseas. Incentivizing the Invincibles compliance players reasoned for the Invincibles time of year was a special problem for Wenger on 2 occasions, notes Lawrence. The at first was following Stockpile suddenly smashed out of the Champions League quarterfinals to a crew how had not beaten it in 5 years, Chelsea, in its at first time of year by ancient Roman Abramovich. They perhaps mind they could include one at how year, she says. They had to dig very profound to get behind on path and discover his shape once again in the league. The other, sarcastically, came following Stockpile won the league prize in 4 persons matches to replacement. Same just period he very done a enormous question of it was as quickly as they won the league, Lawrence says of Wenger. Arsene was by how spot very obsessive on the reality how they didn't chaos it upwards. Stockpile polished out 2 draws and a couple of A-goal victories to drag off the deed, but it wasn't lightweight. All the players will speak you how it was nearly love a separate among which was in his heads and which was in his bodies, say Lawrence. They fair couldn't get themselves departure. It was love the marathon runner begun who has crossed the link and who says, fair go and run else me, will thou. Guardiola, of year, is no unknown to motive. He was tasked in incentivizing a Barcelona team how 2 times swept La Liga and Champions League trophies, and took above and alike success Bayern Munich clubhouse, just to win the Bundesliga all 3 change of seasons in 3 serial change of seasons. Lawrence sees similar elements among Wenger and Guardiola in regulation of a officer who feels really in melody in his team. Wenger chosen the Invincibles list in his sculpt or it very pressed, she says, and sees Guardiola trustful his man-town players in the identical path. Nevin says how which largest impresses him is the way Guardiola jammed to his guns in spite critique following recent time of year. I loving the cleanliness of the mind how you must assault, you must hold the dribble. Creation seems to be over all else, he says, with commend how has frequently been ascribed to Wenger. A lot of human beings in UK soccer told, oh you can't do how they're in the Prime League, he says. Or where were 1 or 2 of us shouting of the sidelines, close up, same smiles front of the otherwise of thou. Management and good luck each large crew has its leaders, and the Invincibles were complete of them says Lawrence. She names Sol Campbell, Dennis Bergkamp, Henry and Jens Lehmann as examples of various styles of vet management, although the indisputable alpha on the crew was beating defense halfback Patrick Vieira. The Senegal-born Frenchman had his teammates' backs on the tilt, and organized dinners for the players and his partners off of it. Time Town may absence as lot dominating older personalities, Vincent Kompany stands out as a Vieira-like present. Time Kompany is no much longer a at first crew device, the town skipper is a really nice human beings man and a real lead who bridges the culture shared during the clubhouse's various team, says Lawrence. Thou completely requirement good luck, continues Lawrence. Where were specific determining points how time of year how had to go a specific way for stockpile. And I'm confident how if Mantown are lucky quite to remain in the, they will include such real to see behind on wherever it could include lost a specific path. Dame good luck emerging to be on stockpiles party previous in the time of year versus Manchester joint. In the scored connected 0-0 in the 80th min, joint ace Ruud van Nistelrooy was decorated a contentious fine and hit the crossbeam. The resultant scandal would go to be named as Same Fight at Old Trafford. Who would gain? At low 1 Irresistible who play in how Matchstick thinks Town include a nice shooting at equaling Stockpile's accomplishment. In spite been alienated of Stockpile with leaving following 2006, leftward behind Ashley Cauliflower incorporated his loyalty to how historical party. I believe the Stockpile Invincibles would gain. I believe I would include to say how, no prejudice, he said ESPN. One item is specific, if the town team does go unbeaten or no, he's constructed to recent. If I wasn't such a Chelsea blower, I would be frantic for them to win the league, says Nevin, up addition a scary mind for Town's opponents. I believe by following time of year they will be though superior.